Who's responsible for your greatness? Who's responsible for your success? Who's responsible for how well you do at anything that you choose to pursue? The answer is always, no matter what, you. And in this clip, we're going to be covering just that. Louis C.K. gives an absolutely incredible example of straight up ownership. This is episode 1929, Louis C.K. I'm Coach Colin, coolest high performance coach in the world. And if you want the absolute best insights to the podcasts and videos you love, hit that subscribe button. Let's get into it.
For 2 days.
Really?
Yeah, and I'll work out and exercise. I kind of train for this stuff because my feeling is the show has to be great. That's my responsibility. If you're not in shape, then the show is as good as your luck, right? If you have a good crowd, you'll have a good show. And if it's just a good night and things line up right, you'll have a good show. But if you leave it up to that, you're a fucking asshole. If you're in shape and you have wind and your mind gets clearer when you're in better shape and you try not to eat sugar and stuff, then no matter what, the show is going to be great. If the crowd sucks, I'm just going to have to work a lot harder. It's not up to them how good this show is. It's just I'm going to have to put in a lot more fucking effort. So I need to be healthy enough that when they suck, I'm great, and that when they're great, it's out of the park. It's completely.
I remember you
crazy.
telling me about this back in the day where you used to run. You used to run like you're training for a fight.
Yeah, I do. That's what I'm doing right now. Yeah. Today I was on the steps machine for an hour, and I train for however long. I try to do the steps machine for how long the set is I'm doing.
Oh wow!
And I watch Ali Frazier fights or
no shit.
Yeah, I watch 15 round old fights, and I pick a guy that I'm him, and with the level of the machine, I follow his effort.
Oh, wow.
So when Ali's back is on the ropes, I go down to 5 a little bit, and then when he comes off the ropes, I go to 6, and when he starts firing away, I go to 8.
Oh,
and I go up
interesting.
and down a lot, and it's very good for your heart,
It's very good for anxiety. There's
Yeah?
a thing, there's a thing about exercise before any big event. I think it burns off all the residual, ancillary, unnecessary stress because there's a certain amount of stress that I think people just naturally carry in their bodies. And if you don't exercise, you're going to have a certain amount of tension and a little weirdness that it's just energy. Because your body's designed to run away from fucking saber-toothed tigers and fight off villagers. That's the body that we're dealing with today is the same body that people had 10, 15,000 years ago.
That's what I think what's special about humans is that some of us try that extra step. In other words, every animal has that. If there's trouble, get the fuck away. Mm-hmm. They have a calculation in their heads. Who can I take and who can't I, So sometimes there's a confrontation. This guy's a match for me, so I'm going to, like 2 bears fighting.
Yeah.
So they have that thing. But humans go if I try to hang in there, or if I hide, or if I, I might be able to get something out of this. It's worth doing something dangerous. It's worth it's worth resisting fight or flight. Because if I'm still hanging around after the flashpoint moment is over, I might be able to do something that somebody else couldn't do. That's a very human thing, is to think past the fight or flight moment, and also being able to not confront somebody like you're the guy in the cafeteria. Do I need to fight or flight? Is there something else? That's, I think, particularly human. It's can I just? I mean, maybe there's gorillas that do it. I have no idea. Or
probably
elephants.
not.
Probably not. I don't know.
No, it's probably a human thing.
Yeah, it's just going I could fight, I could flight. He looks like he wants to fight, but if I just waited a few extra seconds and if I can discipline my heart rate and not listen to the reptile and just cool off, I might be able to get something out of this. I think that's what helps me on stage, because there's a fight or flight moment when I do, an abortion joke or something, and everyone's just upset that I brought it up, and I'm like, that's all right.
Yeah.
I've seen this. That comes from experience. I've seen this. I know there's a moment past this that's
and the
worth
payoff is extra sweet.
It's huge because nobody does it.
Right.
I mean, a lot of people do it, but it's rarer.
It's rare. And then when you do get that juicy payoff, you're like, yes. It's so much better than something that's easy to get to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which has its own charm.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a good, easy joke.
No.
I enjoy all kinds of jokes.
So do I. Jim Gaffigan is one of my favorite guys because he.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Out of the realm of jokes and applying that to your life. I love what he talked about when he said humans have that, and I'll just put it as that extra gear to just try a little more, to just wait and see what I can get out of this, over just getting over that fight or flight feeling, just getting over that. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. The way that he put it. It's nuts that this guy is a comedian and not a fighter, because he has he was even talking about watching fight videos, but this is such a fighter mentality. And like I was saying in previous episodes, the fighter mentality is the life mentality. That's what you need. This is perfect. If you can just get over that fight or flight feeling for a few more seconds than the other person, or a few more seconds than you used to, you can see something or achieve something that you couldn't before, right? And I was just talking about this in another video, talking about suffering, struggle, like how it's like if you can just struggle and fail, you'll be able to achieve. And this is the exact same thing. It's like when you have that fear, when you have that whole thing of, maybe you're somebody who wants to start a business and you think about it and you think about how daunting it all is and, oh, what if I fail? If you can just get over that and just take a couple steps towards it, there's a payoff there. And you can't see it, and you can probably barely even imagine it, but it's there. You just have to just nut up and just try. I'm telling you, man, if you're looking for motivation, I know it's such an unlikely place, but this episode is great. It's such an inspiration, and it's not just because I really like Louis C.K. and I love Joe Rogan. It's not just that. There is a lot of wisdom inside of this podcast. When two guys who collectively have almost 100 years experience in one craft, when they start talking about it, you're going to hear wisdom that can touch any walk of life. It's just fact. And I'll go back to it again, just fighting that fight or flight feeling, just getting past that, it's so true. It's so true. I remember when I would do stand-up every single time, I would agree to do a show and I would say to myself, why the fuck did you just agree to do that? And I would get so upset with myself, and I'd be pacing around and I'd be all nervous. I'd be so nervous. I'd be about to go on stage. Somebody's going up. Somebody comes up to me and says, hey, you're up next. And I'm just like, oh, God. And then I'm telling you, I fight that feeling because I just want to run out. It's so much easier. It would look weird, but it'd be so much easier on my body, on my heart, to just run out of there, get in my car, go home, and that'd be it. But instead, I walk towards the stage, and every single time, I fight that feeling that we're talking about, that fight or flight feeling. I fight all that. And as soon as I would touch the mic stand, I would take the mic out, and as soon as I would touch that stand, boom, all those feelings gone. And now all of a sudden I'm doing something I never thought I'd be able to do. So you just got to get past that fear, that scared, that anxiety, that feeling in the chest that you get. You just got to get past that tightness. You just got to get past that. Get past that. And whatever you do, whatever it is that you're trying to do, I always say whatever it is, because it's like, I know there's all walks of life. There's so many things that we want to do. There's people who want to start businesses. There's people who want to get into martial arts and they're afraid. There's people who want to get into the gym, but they feel like they're too fat and everybody's looking at them. There's people who want to say something to their brother or their mother that they've never said before. There's people of all walks of life who want different things. Man, I know there's something that you want more than anything and you're fucking afraid to do it. Just do it. Just get past that point. Whatever that fear is, it's like a little wall. If you can just walk through that wall, on the other side is just a whole other version of you. And that version of you is great. And that version of you is beneficial, not just to yourself, but to your family, to your community, to your friends. That version of you is incredible. And once you step into that version of you, you have no idea how many other people who are around you who are feeling the exact same way and not telling you are going to have a light of what they could walk into themselves. It's true, man. You do not have to be a famous person for this. You do not have to be some celebrity for this. Fuck celebrities, man. They're not even people to look up to. It's you when you step into your highest version. That's the person that people could look up to. That's a person people could be inspired by. You just got to get past that feeling. And we all have it. And I have it. I haven't like pushed through it. I know I do this. And to some people, this is something. This is not like I do this naturally. Like there's things that I want to do too. And there's fear that I have too. And I have to move past it. We all have to move past it. That's how you make the world better. You know? You change yourself. All right, I'm out.